Here we go. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. It is our October town hall tonight. Thank you all so much for joining. I see a lot of familiar names in here, so I just really appreciate your continued engagement in what's going on in Ward 4. Tonight, we're going to be kind of focusing in on the Dietz Neighborhood Association. So I see Al on here. Hello, Al. Good to see you. Justin's on here. You know, you're going to see some repeat content from other meetings, from other neighborhood associations. We're going to be providing some of the same updates, but when we get into the Q&A, it's probably going to be more specific to what's going on in Dietz neighborhood. But of course, glad you're here and grateful for your engagement. So let's go ahead and get started. It is our final town hall of the year of 2021. So I made sure to decorate for you all here tonight. I'm very festive. Fall is my favorite time of year. We'll be taking, since this is the last week of the month, that will fall on Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we wanted to make sure and give you all time to spend with your families and not worried about town halls. Same thing for our staff. So just a couple housekeeping items. As you all heard, the recording is happening. My dog is already barking, so it's an official Zoom meeting. That box has been checked. If you do have questions that come up during the presentation, you see a chat box, chat icon, and a Q&A icon for question and answer. Please use that Q&A icon and box to drop your questions in there. That way we can go through the process of either answering those in the chat or answering those live verbally. We do have limited capacity in case you run into any tech issues during the town hall. So if that does happen, we are recording and we'll be posting this to our YouTube channel afterwards, so you can go back and catch anything that you may have missed. And our team will be posting these instructions in the chat. Hi, Justin, in case you need to reference them later on. All right, and just to get you aware on Ward 4, if you're not, which a lot of you folks are, like I said, recurring names, so I'm sure you're very familiar with your ward. We are 100 square miles of the 227 square miles that make up the city of Tucson. So we're a very large geographic area, which is why we really wanted to focus on neighborhood associations, so we kind of zoom in on your particular area and the particular challenges and opportunities in those areas. Ward 4 specifically is a major growth corridor for the city. So as you've seen, whenever you drive around, there's lots of development happening, lots of businesses taking a look out here, lots of housing going up, lots of growth, lots of change. And the primary jobs that are out here and job creation areas are in the aerospace, defense, tech, and optics areas primarily, but we're seeing interest from a lot of different types of businesses. So always looking forward to those different opportunities coming here to Tucson for jobs. These town halls, we'd like to focus on our core services, specifically transportation and roads, public safety, and parks and rec. And we're going to kind of double click into each of these areas and give you just a quick update on what's going on in these different areas, starting with transportation and mobility. Some of you all were here for last month where we did, I believe it was last month, with Diana Alarcon, our transportation and mobility director, where we talked about these as well as smart streets in a little more detail. But in terms of Prop 101, this was $100 million for road improvements. Specifically, to update you all, RTA project on Houghton Road from I-10 to Tanque Verde. This is a 13-mile stretch from Tanque Verde Road down to I-10. These improvements are being made over several phases over the 20-year plan. And right now we're really working through the design phase of the 3-mile roadway from 22nd to Irvington. And improvements to the stretch of roadway from Valencia to Marianne Cleveland began in fall of 2020. And we anticipate 15 months to completion on that. Also in the space of transportation and mobility, we have RTA project Valencia Road from Kolb to Houghton. This is a widening of Valencia Road to a 6-lane parkway to include bike lanes, sidewalks, drainage, I think, which is going to be awesome for the new apartments and the growth that's happening out that way. Valencia Kolb intersection improvements will precede this roadway project. So we've got some work happening there. Also, RTA, this one is near and dear to my heart. Talk about it all the time. Harrison Road, golf links to Irvington. This one is slated for RTA, fourth period project, scheduled to begin 2022 to 2026. This one is at risk with RTA funding issues right now, but it's incredibly important. So I talk about it all the time because this includes a bridge over the Pantano Wash, which, as we know, floods and leads to a lot of traffic getting backed up onto other roads and safety issues. So this one is very near and dear to my heart. Switching gears over to public safety, also Prop 101, 150 million for vehicles, equipment, and facilities for Tucson Fire and Police. We've been following very closely the new Southeast Annex Station and that process and where that's at in the phases. This is going to be a $4.6 million capital expenditure, and it's currently in the design phase. We did pass the 2021-2022 budget for additional funding for retention and recruitment in Tucson Fire and Tucson Police. This is particularly important. We also did a market rate adjustment for city employees to include our 911 operators, just in general, because there was a gap between what the market rate was for a lot of these positions and what our folks were getting paid. And, you know, I believe that people need to get paid what they deserve to be paid. So it was great to be able to bring them up to market rate and competitive rate and put more money in their pockets for the hard work that they're doing out there. So that included police, fire, 911 communications, as well as across the organization as a whole. So that was a big accomplishment for us in 2021. Looking at Parks and Rec, I'm not going to read the two little spreadsheet snippets to you. This is in depth on TucsonDelivers.com to look at these different projects, but really looking at Purple Heart Park, Robert A. Price Senior Park, some new items, new park in general coming to the ward. This was in 2018. Prop 407 was a $225 million bond package to address park amenities and connections. So really great things that are moving along in the various phases, just to bring more investment here into Ward 4. A couple neighborhood opportunities we want you to be aware of in case you're not is the Speed Hump program. So if you have problematic areas in any of your neighborhoods, you can take a look at this program. On average, the cost to residents per speed hump was about $5,000. That covered the cost to hire the contractor, the material, the signage. And then there is a program that reduced this cost down to $500 per hump. We have this program for up to 30 installations citywide. So if you do have speed humps, and I do believe you guys do have an application in the queue, if I remember correctly. So as soon as those neighbors participate, raise the necessary funding of the $500, that will move along. And my team can help talk a little bit about that if that does come up in questions tonight. But that program is available, and I believe you all are taking advantage of that. Also, I know there's a GSI, Green Stormwater Infrastructure Project, in the works for Dietz Neighborhood as well. So this is a really exciting program that we have to look at how we can put some trees, plants, just do some things to help divert some of the water that we do get into effective ways. So we have this program that's available. Martha from our office is the GSI expert. She's been through tons of training, and you've probably worked with her if you're in Dietz Neighborhood and you are working on the GSI project. So this is available, and it's a great resource, and we have someone very talented and capable to help navigate that process. The Tucson Million Trees Initiative, also one of my favorite projects. We have an initiative to plant 1 million trees by 2030 across the city to increase the canopy, help mitigate the effects of climate change, and reduce the heat urban island effect. You can purchase these trees through Tucson Clean and Beautiful, anywhere from $5 to $15 for your home or for your community. That's on TucsonCleanandBeautiful.org. and TEP. Most of us are TEP customers, if not all. There is a tep.com/trees for you, or you can get discounted trees through Tucson Electric Power as well. Neighborhood cleanup. This has been something that we're hearing a lot about all across the ward. Illegal dumping, stuff going on there with that requires some attention. If you and the neighbors want to get together, if you have problematic areas, we do have neighborhood cleanup that we can help coordinate, where we'll bring roll-off containers, or also known as dumpsters, out to the neighborhood. Tucson Clean and Beautiful will provide some bags and tools to use. This is a photo of our team out with the Rita Ranch folks doing neighborhood cleanup in April, and we'll help bring those resources in to support neighborhood cleanup. So you can just reach out to our office and we can help walk you through that process. Also, individual household cleanup. As you move into the fall, if you got to get rid of some stuff, just remember your recycling bins. Your blue bins are for clean plastic, paper, metal, and cardboard. Glass we no longer accept in the blue bin. So just remember that there are some purple containers located across the ward. We have one at the Ward 4 office at 8123 East Poinciana Drive. Household hazardous waste. These are for the products that have toxic, danger, poison, flammable type of labeling on those. You don't want to put those in your regular trash. Those are accepted during the event, and those can be dropped off at Los Reales landfill as well. And then special trash collection is also available. It's $55 fee. You can schedule basically an out of cycle brush and bulky pickup if you need to take advantage of that service. So lots of different things going on, lots of different things we want to make sure you are aware of. And this is the point where we will switch over to any questions that you all may have specific to Dietz Neighborhood Association is really the goal, but anything else that comes up. All right.
Currently, there aren't any questions that have come into the queue.
Okay, I was just reading Tina's comment. Yes, Tina, the presentation mode is so hard with Zoom. It takes up my entire screen and then I can't see anything else. So the struggle is real with PowerPoint and Zoom and presentation mode. I hear you on that. I know we did have some questions that came in over the week that we handled in advance, but we'll just leave the Q&A open for a few moments. Okay, good. Tina increased her screen all as well. Great. All right, well, I'm going to move to the last couple slides here, but please do drop any questions in the Q&A that you may have that haven't been answered via email already this week. I'll just do a plug for our newsletter. If you are not signed up for our newsletter, please do so. Right now, we're sending them out once a month, and you can do that at tucsonaz.gov/ward4. We try to make them fun, informative, not too heavy on the content, but a good volume, good amount. You can always, of course, reach us over a phone, over our ward email. I try to be on all the different platforms. I will tell you, I'm not much of a tweeter. So Twitter is not super busy, not much on Instagram either, but I'm getting there. So definitely follow us just to stay connected on what we're doing out in the community. Want to see if any questions have come in.
We have a couple.
Let's do it.
Right. Tina would like to know, it's a question regarding recycling and specifically cardboard. She'd like to know if the cardboard boxes need to be cut down or if they need to be prepared in some way for the site. It really depends, Tina. If it's a smaller box, you don't need to cut them down. If it's something larger, it's always helpful once they're in the bin. And cardboard is really great. It's a product that's very easy for the city to recycle. You just want to make sure that it's clean cardboard. So something that a lot of people do is they put like their pizza boxes in there, but pizza boxes aren't recyclable because of some of the grease from the pizza. So if it's a clean recycled or a clean cardboard product, really it's about getting it in your bin if it's manageable or not. There's also Mark, he'd like to know, it says brush and bulky. So I'm thinking he probably would like to have an update on brush and bulky.
Yes, yes. Great topic. Really important topic, very timely topic. So as you all are probably aware, and we've been very communicative on Facebook about, I haven't used, that's a big word. I haven't used that for a while. They have run a couple weeks behind on brush and bulky pickup. We have tried to help understand what are some of the drivers causing the schedule delays. And, we have an item coming up on the study session in December that me and my team are drafting up now to really dive deep into the service itself, looking at staffing, looking at some of the issues that the crews are running into on the ground to help them be able to be more, optimized as teams when they're out there working on, cleaning up the brush and bulky trash. So they are moving quickly to get caught back up. They brought in temporary workers and to beef up the staff. They've added staff and added teams, and they've added overtime. Okay, Mark was going somewhere else with it, but we'll keep talking about it. So ultimately, for anyone who is wondering about that, because I see Al is on here and I know Rita Ranch is still impacted, they're working overtime. They're working on the weekends now. They've added staff, so they are working frantically to get caught up and to stay caught up. Our team is doing a deep dive to look at how we can optimize and possibly make some changes to make this a more sustainable situation. What we're learning is, we have a lot of growth in Ward 4, a lot of neighborhoods popping up, and a lot of additional brush and bulky trash to be picked up. And those factors have not been added into kind of the staffing plan and the schedule. So it's leading to some trickling effects. So we're going to get to the bottom of it. All right. Teresa, so shows the city includes removal of vegetation in the alley. Teresa, or
So I'm going to have to take a look at that, Mark, because I know that I'm not sure exactly where you're looking at that part. It looks like Martha's going to type an answer, but there used to be a Brush and Bulky Plus program that the city put on pause. And so that might be what you're seeing, but I know Martha's swiftly kind of going through just to make sure she sees what you're seeing. But that was a service that they kind of tried as like a pilot. It was called like Brush and Bulky Plus. And the city with staffing has postponed that service. All right, Elaine, she says, I dropped my glass yesterday at the Ward 4 and the bin was full over the top. Maybe a second bin since you're participating. Thank you. Great point, Elaine. So tomorrow is when they come and pick up that bin, but there was a bin at the Purple Heart Park, and because of the park construction, they temporarily removed that bin. So today we were communicating with environmental services and asked for a second bin at our Ward 4 location as well, since folks are bringing it up from the Rita Ranch area as well. So super grateful that everybody's using those glass recycling bins.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, perfect. Well, Mark, I hope that answered your question. I see another comment in there. I'm not following it. I don't know if it was a transcription of something that I said, but if you have any further questions and you can type them in, we'll be happy to answer them. Or if you want some additional information, you can always give us a call or send us a note, and we can answer any more specific questions that maybe we didn't touch on with Brush and Bulky tonight. All right. Last call for questions. Okay. All right, we are always here to take your call, to take your message. That's top priority for our office. So please let us know if we can assist with anything. If you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Since this is the last town hall of the year, I hope you all have a great holiday season. It's not the last you'll hear from us, obviously, but this is the last forum. We will be posting kind of our 2022 schedule of town halls. It's going to look a little bit different next year because we really want to optimize everyone's time, make them most efficient based on what we learned this year. So you can look out for an upcoming communication on what that's going to look like and dates and all that good stuff moving forward into the end of the year. So I hope you all have a great holiday season. Take care. And thanks as always for your engagement. Bye, everyone.